Hello my good friends, welcome to the channel Digimon Explained. My name is Jesse and in this video I wanted to talk about a Digimon that always intrigued me for numerous reasons. And that Digimon is none other than Airdramon, the mythical beast. And the reason why I love it so much is because, well, it's because it gave me important questions about the entirety of the Digimon. To me, it never really felt as if Airdramon was treated correctly in terms of its Digivolution line. Maybe from its rookie to its ultimate and mega level forms. It doesn't feel as if Airdramon was treated with the same attention as many other Digimon, and many of its quote-unquote later forms also seem a bit speculative. Related in some way, but speculative mostly. It's going to be clear in a moment. So who is Airdramon first and foremost? We are talking about a mythical beast who is part of the Dramon species. Those who carry the Dramon name usually are descendants of DRACOMON, who is the progenitor of Dragon-type Digimon. We talked about DRACOMON in its own video, the link towards it is in the description box. And we also talked about how DRACOMON's genes / data got spread around and created various different types of Dragon Digimon. From humanoid dragons to four-legged dragons and elemental dragons, etc. A very important video to check out if you haven't already. What puts Airdramon on a different pedestal in comparison to the other dragon-type Digimon would be the fact that it is said that it is quite the valuable monster and it is said to be close to God. Now, within the Digimon universe, God has always been a very difficult subject to tackle. Are we talking about the human who created the digital world? Are we talking about one of the at least 3 host computers in the different servers in the digital world? Again, the subject of God within the Digimon universe / multiverse is very uncertain, but Airdramon is said to be close to it. We don't know what they mean with close. We don't know if they communicate or how they communicate. We don't know what role Airdramon plays, as those other Digimon who are close to God usually play a certain role. I'm referring to the Digimon Angels who I explained thoroughly in various videos, which will all be linked in the description box. You have angels, you have archangels, you have principality angels, you have virtue angels, you have dominion angels, Ophanim angels, seraphim angels, and cherubim angels. Each of them ranked according to their powers, which is also directly defined based on the number of wings they have, but also ranked given their roles. But we see none of that with Airdramon. Granted, it bears huge wings, but still. It isn't an angel, it doesn't carry a holy ring, which is a sign of one's divine heritage, and still it is said to be close to God, so that's quite curious. Aside of that, it is said that Airdramon possesses a personality that is quite ferocious, but still it remains a Digimon with high intelligence, which might explain why it is impossible to be tamed by an average tamer. We're not counting the Digimon Emperor, obviously, the human who used its black rings designed to control Digimon at the champion level. Now here comes my favorite part, the analysis. I'm quite sure to not be the only one who believe that Airdramon and Seadramon look related and maybe even could be related. They both have a cranial shell, they are both very huge Digimon reaching beyond average heights, they both have the same body type, they're both serpentine dragons. The difference is that Airdramon has wings and Seadramon looks to be well adapted for submarine life. Heck, even both their names appear to be very related. Seadramon is a sea dragon, a dragon who adapted and evolved to live better in the sea, while Airdramon is an air dragon, a dragon meant to be well adapted for life in the skies. Speaking of, while Seadramon is an expert water user in combat, as it can attack by sending huge tsunami waves at opponents, it can also instantly freeze water or even shoot blasts of water, Airdramon has lots of air-based moves. Its roar can cool storms, while the flap of its wings can cause tornadoes. It can produce a cutting vacuum from the thrashing of its humongous wings. It can use multiple blades of wind to attack the enemy, and surprisingly, it has been seen using electricity. Now, there is a reason why I brought up Seadramon aside of it having a few similarities with Airdramon. Did you know that Seadramon has an ancestor in some way? I'm talking about Seahomon, with its name being a reference to seahorse. It's a Digimon who inhabits places of high water pressure in the deepest trenches of the net ocean. Now, just for your information, there is still much to say about the net ocean, but the way you should look at it is with the following picture. You have the surface web, with places like the Folder continent. You have the net ocean, which can be seen as the deep web, and you have the dark web, which is the deepest part of the net ocean that is nearest to the dark area where Digimon go to once they die. So Seahomon, when looking at its biography, should be located in the dark web, and because of the dark web's high water pressure, it attained a small build. However, when it rises up to an area of the ocean with shallow water, it seems that it becomes even larger than Seadramon species Digimon. And again, Seadramon species Digimon are already humongous in height. Just think of MegaSeadramon and you will get the picture. There is a hypothesis which claims that Seahomon is a survivor of ancient Digimon said to have perished in the past, and there is a rumor that it might have some sort of connection with Seadramon species Digimon, and quite frankly, I wouldn't be surprised. Its name is Seahomon. If it managed to get some data from DRACOMON and create a variant of itself, it would make it Seadramon. So it definitely would make sense if you ask me. However, if I have to stretch that hypothesis, Seahomon does have wings, doesn't it? Could that maybe make it related in one way or another to Airdramon? Again, it might be too much stretching, and I'm sorry for that. It's just that I'm trying to understand Airdramon a little better because there are many gaps to be filled. And I think that Seahomon, who is said to sometimes rise up to shallow waters, could be a missing link that brings Seadramon closer to Airdramon. We've seen numerous Digimon take data from other Digimon and change according to that data. And Seahomon, being bigger than Seadramon, might end up leaving its data somewhere, unintentionally probably, but still enough to give birth to an Airdramon who has important similarities to Seadramon. Food for thought. I'd be pleased to read what you all have to say. Now, Airdramon's previous life as a Seahomon, potentially, is a mystery and is but a hypothesis. We have seen Betamon digivolve into an Airdramon and a Seadramon, so at least they have that in common. But the big mystery in some way are Airdramon's later forms. And I'm not counting Death Airdramon, that is just a Digimon form that Deathmon can assume when it uploaded the data of an Airdramon. I must say that this is yet another example of how Digimon can just take data from others and make it their own, and make it define their next forms. And I'm also excluding the Sand Airdramon variant, which you can see in Digimon World 3. There's an Airdramon who I presumed managed to survive in a desert and thereby even took on the same colors of its environment. That's also not the Digimon we're talking about. Anyway, Airdramon's next form would be Megadramon, a cyborg dragon Digimon and a member of the Crack Team, which is a group of hackers from the real world that employs and abuses mechanical Digimon for unknown purposes, and a team who intend to spread its sphere of influence via numerous means. Anyway, Megadramon is a Digimon that was remodeled for anti-air by incorporating technology appropriated from Airdramon. In fact, it did the same as MetalGreymon, who also took on the same tech from Airdramon, so it's interesting to see how much influence Airdramon has on the development of various Digimon. Megadramon is not just a cyborg dragon Digimon but also a dark dragon Digimon, said to boast the strongest and wickedest power among dragon-type cyborg Digimon of the ultimate level. That's why you can see it fire countless organic missiles from both of its arms. It can perform an attack that is able to cut any material to pieces using the metallic claws on its arms, and Megadramon can also draw the surrounding area into a dimensional gap using massive energy that causes heavy damage. Might be a bit of a hint that it possesses some limited space-time abilities. It is said that Megadramon was artificially remodeled by an unknown person and was programmed to destroy everything. When we say remodeled, I can obviously only think of an Airdramon being used as a blueprint for remodeling, which makes me think of the following. I am more than convinced that Airdramon and Seadramon are related, but they took different paths, obviously. I don't think it is a coincidence that MegaSeadramon, who is Seadramon's ultimate form, and Megadramon, who is Airdramon's ultimate form, are both sporting a red color, and they both have extra weaponry, and both even have hairs. The thing I noticed, however, is the name. On the one hand, you have MegaSeadramon, with the sea referring to the terrain in which it operates best. And on the other hand, you have Megadramon. Why is the word air missing? Shouldn't we normally call it MegaAirdramon? We pretty much can confirm that both are counterparts in some way, so it is quite curious. Maybe the reason is that Megadramon was completely remodeled. Its background already says that it was remodeled for anti-air use. That's why it uses missiles now, whereas Airdramon created tornadoes and had various wind-based attacks. Also, Megadramon was reprogrammed to destroy everything. That's now how it was as an Airdramon, but hey, as we are talking about data, you can obviously change it to your liking, up to a point of creating a Digimon that doesn't quite look like its previous forms, not physically wise, nor personality wise. Its wings, by the way, remind me a lot of Airdramon's wings. Airdramon has these holes in its wings, and now Megadramon has stitches on them. So that much can be said already about who it became after remodeling and who it was before. MegaSeadramon wasn't remodeled. In fact, it evolved naturally. It lived long in the harsh environment surrounding Folder Continent and digivolved in order to survive. That's how its body became a size larger. That's how the carapace covering its head got harder, and that's how a lightning-shaped blade has grown on its calvaria. Without forgetting that its intelligence developed more. So MegaSeadramon deserved to still have the C in its name. Airdramon never digivolved naturally. Its way of fighting also changed. Its personality also became different. So it shouldn't be called MegaAirdramon any longer. That would, if you allow me, become close to a disgrace and possibly even a joke to the name. But at least with the name Megadramon, there is still that link between it and MegaSeadramon. And now, being this remodeled version, Megadramon's existence is said to have become the epitome of a computer virus. It can easily penetrate computer networks, protected by strong security, and, very importantly, it is said that it can very easily destroy and then completely reformat the host computer. I don't exactly know what is meant by that, because if I were to take it literally, it would mean that Megadramon can face host computers of the likes of Yggdrasil, who is one of the existing host computers who rules over the digital world on one of the servers on the network. And maybe defeating it is a huge word, but it would mean that Megadramon perhaps has some hidden abilities to reformat the host computer. And if it is the case, then I must say that I have a completely different view of Megadramon now. On top of that, it would make sense if it would be capable of doing something similar, because you cannot forget that Airdramon is said to be close to God. So one shouldn't be surprised if Airdramon, or one of its later forms, has godlike abilities, or in this case, presumably the ability to take down or reformat a being that is seen as a god. Now, just like MegaSeadramon, who has a variant called WaruSeadramon, a Digimon that evolved in wickedness and gained the ability to control darkness, Megadramon has also a similar type of variant, namely Gigadramon, a cyborg dragon and a dark dragon Digimon that was developed at the same time as Megadramon, and high probably with Airdramon again as a blueprint. And this probably would be the stronger variant because as a combat dragon that was armed to the teeth by further remodeling, it became a bit more capable of working as a fiendish computer virus, if you ask me. It has robotic wings after all. But with the dark color it now sports, I can assume that there is absolutely no link between it and Airdramon. Okay, maybe there are a few similarities left, but still. Unfortunately, I'm going to have to stop here and tell you that despite Megadramon having been seen digivolving into various mega-level Digimon, there is none of them that I can really consider to be a correct continuation of the line. It's already sad that we never got to see Airdramon digivolve naturally. So while the video stops here, I do want to stop by a fan art, which would make a lot of sense as a continuation for Airdramon. There is a Digimon called Gold Airdramon that was made by a fan whose name I could not find, however I'll put the link of it in the description box. Gold Airdramon is an Airdramon that became golden and even carries a holy ring, something I said that it was missing despite having a connection with God. Having a gold Airdramon carrying a holy ring and looking this divine to me is very soothing and pleasing, as it would make sense when you go back to Airdramon's roots. On top of that, it looks to have quite a few wings, which would immediately put it at a higher rank within the Digimon angelic hierarchy, even if it does not look like an angel. In fact, it isn't, it is a dragon. But I admit that I would enjoy seeing other creatures also earning a spot within the Digimon angelic hierarchy, as not all inhabitants over there are Angemon species. But how do you look at Gold Airdramon? Would it make sense to be a mega level variant of Airdramon when considering its background story? And how do you think of the design? Let me know in the comment section, and make sure to write as much as you can about Airdramon and its Digivolution line and its connection with Seadramon in the comment section. There is still so much to say about Airdramon and its Digivolution line. I am waiting that we get more from the Digimon developers, but we might be waiting for quite some time. Also, please make sure to subscribe. I hope it's not asking much, but when I looked at the analytics, I was surprised to see that most who view the videos aren't even subscribed to the channel. I really hope I can count on your support by subbing, my good friends. It really means the world to me, as it helps the channel survive YouTube, and it gives me obviously more motivation to make these long videos. So please help me out and subscribe. And if you are new, please know that all Digimon videos are placed in particular Digimon playlists, which are always updated, that way you can catch up to newer and older videos.